All right, Cody. Let's touch on a few more bases with you. When it came down to Aaron and Sammy at the final tribal council, I couldn't help but notice. I felt like you took a little bit of like Sandro's Gatorade before because your question was a little bit vicious. I couldn't help but notice. Was that really how you felt like as you were typing it up, or did you put on a little bit of a show to just get the final two there, a little bit on the hot seat and stuff?
Well, like I said, coming into the game, like I wanted to play with my head instead of my heart, and then the whole game I ended up playing with my heart instead of my head. So I figured I would just go out with, playing with my head. I did want to see them fight for it. I mean, I don't like seeing the final two where the two people are just kind of sitting there getting bashed. Like, I want them to fight back with me. I want them to tell me what they thought I did, or what they did to deserve my vote. Because like I said, I respect this game. I respect the people that take place in that take part in this game, and I want to see them fight for it. I want them to, when I cast my vote, I want them to have deserved that vote. So yeah, I want it to be a little bit vicious, and I want to apologize for having to do that. Especially to Sammy. Like I
Oh, don't
probably should
apologize. I
have.
love that shit.
I want to apologize to her because I wanted to see the real her, and I know she'd gotten called out for being kind of cocky or bitchy, and I wanted to see her personal side because she's really good at separating the personal side of it versus the game side of it. So I wanted to finally see her mesh the two and kind of just fight for it. But Sammy, honestly, I was on the fence until Aaron started answering questions, and I'm like, shoot, I'm voting for Sammy. Like that's what my heart was telling me to do anyway.
I was just
And
gonna
my head
ask that,
was
Cody. What was it
my
that?
head. Sorry.
Sorry, that's exactly what was the next question. What was it about Sammy that, in her answers, that made you decide, hey,
Um,
she deserves my vote?
well, like I said, like when Aaron started answering his questions, I was kind of like, I was still on the fence. And then Sammy answered her questions, and she did exactly what I wanted her to do. She told the truth. She meshed the personal side of her with the game side of her. And all this being on the fence, I'm like, shoot, you know what? Just vote with your heart. You play the game with your heart. Vote with your heart. Like Sammy, honestly, you are such a badass player. Like I love you, and I was one of the people at the beginning of the game too, of being like, if you don't vote her out, she's gonna win it. She's gonna win it. You're awesome at challenges. Even if you make like the lies that you had to tell, you were awesome at them. The people that you were truthful with, like you owned that, and I mean, there's no way I could give it to Aaron over you without a doubt.
You were a beast at challenges, Sammy. You were good at
Thank you so
endurance.
much.
You were good at endurance challenges. You were good at like try perception challenges. You were good at all different types of challenges. You really like impressed me in terms of your challenge performance. So yeah, thought I'd
Well,
mention
it's
that.
funny because I don't consider myself like a challenge player at all. But yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, well, with
feel
this season, you would totally be on the Braun tribe.
I don't know though. I mean, one of those, I feel like my record has an asterisk next to it because I did buy one of those with that yen I had, and then another one was basically given to me. I don't know, like the coconut shop or
Still,
whatever you want to call it.
immunity wins an immunity win, whether it's social or
That's
physical.
true.
All
But
right,
no,
well, Cody.
thanks, Cody. It means a lot because I definitely wasn't sure where your head was, but I'm glad that I was able to give you what you needed for you to cast a vote for me.
Absolutely. Congratulations. If just for the record, if there's ever an all winners, even though I'm a winner with an asterisk, if there's ever a winner season, me, you, final two, right?
Yeah.
You're taking out Alan first, right?
Yeah.
And Drew second.
Bye, Alan.
Just because they know about your pre-made already. So Alan and Drew, first two targets.
Yeah, Animal has to go.
Oh, Animal too. I forgot. Oh my god, there's so many winners on this call. Oh, and Jermaine too. Fuck.
One Cody in my heart.
Excuse me. Maybe. I was giving you that crown. I can take it right back.
Sorry, I'm just being honest.
Cody, is there anything you want to say to the jury, pre-jurors, alumni? Anything you want to say before I move on?
I just want to thank everybody. It's been an awesome season, and I loved coming out of my quote unquote retirement to be part of this season. Like you said before, that we were given a choice for the people coming back. Be considered for All Stars 3 or potentially take place, or to take part in this season. And I kind of went back and forth. And I'm like, do I deserve an All Star spot? Do I not? Do I deserve a favorite spot? I told a couple of other people I should have probably been playing as a fan versus a favorite, because I never really saw myself as a favorite. But I think you guys, I know you guys put so much into this game. You guys do just as much work as the players do, and there were more players in this game. And I mean players like people who are good at strategy, good at the social game. You know, Sammy, Debbie, Robbie. Oh gosh, there's so many people that Eric, Nicole. And Chris. They're such gamers. Like I've never played a game with so many people who knew what they were doing, had a strategy, and were going to execute that strategy before. And I don't know. I don't know. It was an awesome season, and I'm so happy I decided this over All Stars 3.
And honestly, Cody, I kind of said that you're not going to be considered for All Stars 3 if you played this game, just because we would have a lot of influx of people who wanted to play All Stars 3, and not to mention like I just didn't expect so many people or anybody for that matter, any of the favorites to like win again or do so great, because usually when people come back for a second or third time, like very rarely are they as awesome as they were the first time around. Like they're like merely shadows of the former players they were. So like my immediate thing is like, hey, if you play this, whether it's your third or second time or whatever, if you play this season, you're probably not going to play again, just because A, we're going to have a lot of people applying, and B, like I don't want to see your face again. But you did so well this third time around, or whatever, third time around, this third time around, and you played so well that like I would be doing I Survivor Japan and you a complete injustice if I didn't at least consider you for All Stars 3. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that. I'm going down. I went from third to first to eighth. So.
Well, honestly, you have the second best placement or average placement.
I know.
Of all
the what, 2 rounds?
All the I think it was one. I think it's one placement. I think like
One
if
round?
you add your placements and Lori's placements, she's like at an 11 and you're at a 12 or 13 or something like that.
I think I was more upset that I got more votes in one round than I'd gotten in 2 previous
Exactly. Gosh, yeah. It's like that one tribal council. Everything
so
you worked for gone down the drain. All right. Well, thanks, Cody. Love you, mean it.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you too. Love you guys. Love everybody.
Moving on to Miss Sassy Pants. How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Good. Why do you sound so scared?
I'm not.
Oh.
Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, yeah. I'm afraid of what you're asking me.
Well, Robbie got a call, so I don't have to mention anything about that stuff right now.
Yeah, okay.
But what did you think about this experience compared to Mexico?
I feel like I knew more about the game. Like, I knew what I was doing more than Mexico, where I just, like, was all over the place.
Did you enjoy this season more than Mexico, or did you enjoy Mexico more than this season?
I like that I didn't have, like, all those close friendships, like, going into the game. So I was able to, like, bond with people a little bit more and, like, leave with more friendships. But there's, like, good and bad from this season, I guess.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you were just answering my other question. But now another one. Okay. So, back when Mexico wrapped, I remember one of your, like, regrets was being super close with Jacob, who was already a great friend of yours. But in the process, you were, or at the end, after you got 5th place and stuff, you were like, wow, I wish I just didn't make my alliance with him so obvious. We were always targeted together. And then once Jacob left, you were obviously close with Brian, and it turned into, gosh, I wish I wasn't so close with Brian. And this season, like, one of your first confessionals was, I'm so happy I'm not in this game with Jacob. I'm not going to be tied down or to somebody. I'm not going to get myself into that position. I love playing this game by myself. It feels good. That was like your outlook the first few rounds. And then all of a sudden, it's like Samantha, Samantha, Samantha. Where along the path did your initial strategy turn into exactly what you did in Mexico?
Oh my god. You already called me out on this.
I know, but I forgot your answer, and I want to do it live in front of everybody.
I think I was kind of forced too, like, when we merged as a minority, and, like, I also, like,
felt really, really, really close to Sammy because, like,
Well,
I don't know, I
technically,
don't-
you wouldn't be in the game had it been for her filling you in on Robert targeting you.
Exactly,
So I
and I feel
guess
like
kind of.
I don't think anybody really can, like, understand, like, what it was like for me to totally be separated from people. And, like, these, like, the three people, basically, like, Sammy and Jeffrey were the only ones, like, and Billy, too, like, were the only ones, and Craig, like, to talk to me the entire time, and Sammy especially. So it was actually really, really nice just knowing that I had that friend in her, and everybody else just kind of, like, ignored me because of personal, like, attacks being thrown my way. I guess it's just, like, how it worked out. So if she wasn't in the game, I don't think that I would have been able to make it as far as I did and, like, be able to, like, handle myself even. I probably would have, like, given up way before.
All right, question about the round you left.
Mhm.
You already knew around the final 7 because of previous tribal councils and outcomes of votes that Aaron was a middleman and he was connected and on your side through Samantha.
Yeah.
And although he was or had already flip-flopped once or twice by the time it was the final 7, I could understand your mistrust for him. But do you regret making him your target that round because of his flip-floppiness and getting Cody voted out? Do you regret making him the target? Because what you directly did was kind of cut off a number that could have potentially been on your side because you mistrusted them. But like that person that you mistrusted was a number through Sammy, and like you, Sammy, and Craig were an automatic 3. All you had to do is make seem like you trusted Aaron and possibly could have not gotten 7th place. What's one thing that you think you did wrong or would have done differently at the final 7?
I don't think it was the final 7 because honestly, like, I think.
Well, did you
Aaron
target
would've
Aaron
voted
up
me
to?
out
Did you target Aaron before that?
No.
Yeah,
But
so-
I think it was the final 8 where it messed up. Like, I shouldn't have voted out Cody. I should have just, like, trusted my gut.
Yeah,
But
no,
I think
but
Aaron
at the
probably
final
would've voted me
7,
out
at the final
regardless.
7, do you think that targeting Aaron was a bad move? Or in your
Like,
mind was it
might
like
have
your
been,
only
but
move?
he said so in himself in his final words that he was going to go back with them. So I don't see like why he would have kept the 3 of us together anyway.
I could be totally off base, but I just remember reading, and you know what Aaron said in his final words, true or not, or in his questions or answers, true or not true. I just feel, and I could be wrong, like Kieran, Animal, whoever else, Joe, Purcell, whoever had confessional access, totally correct me if I'm wrong. But I think one of the reasons why he did target you was because he found out through somebody else that you and Craig or you were targeting him, which kind of solidified him being even if he was toying with the idea, was like, all right, not working with them now. They don't trust me. I just voted out Cody. Sassy's pissed. I have no choice now but to vote her out.
Yeah. Possibly, but I don't know. I know he wanted Craig out the round before, so he probably would have voted me.
How was it being on the jury with some people who you didn't leave on the best of terms?
When I first entered the jury, it was really hard, but it came around, and everybody fell in love with each other. I feel like.
Yeah,
It's kind of
the
gross.
jury was like a happy, oh, we love each other, and then you go to the pre-jury chat, and it's like they didn't get along at all.
Oh my god, the jury scared me so much though with their facial expressions.
Yeah, Jeffrey. By the way, that was totally.
I was like having a heart attack. I'm like, oh my god.
Jeffrey. By the way, Jeffrey, you could talk. I'm letting you talk, Jeff.
Thanks.
But you started off that cute trend, so thanks for all this.
I know. Well, I made sure to ask a lot of questions to make sure it was okay for me to post emoticons.
It was
and
like.
so I just started it off that way.
It was like I'm like, Samantha, what are you basing your vote off? She's like, trust. Jeffrey's like,
Roll eyes.
Jeffrey's like, oh, Robbie, you had a fight with somebody. Blah blah blah. Jeffrey's like, ha 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 ha, like just posting all these faces. Sassy, you voted out Jeffrey last round. How did it feel? This is Jeffrey posting vomit face. All right,
Well,
moving.
the way I thought about it, if it was the show, they would see your
Oh
expression.
yeah, no, you were.
Because it would be there.
Do you know who you are, Jeffrey? You were the Eliza Orlins of this jury.
Yeah.
I will say this till the day I die that Eliza is the best jury facial expression person ever. So
Well,
go.
if you're also on video chat with me, you can ask Cody.
Oh
I
my
make
gosh.
the weirdest and funniest faces when anybody talks.
Oh well, I could imagine because you make the weirdest sounds at tribal council. I can only imagine you make weird faces to accompany those weird sounds. All right. Who was I just talking to? Sassy. Okay, moving on. We're going to sixth place. Hey, Mr. Alaska.
How's it going?
It's going great. So, has iSurvivor inspired you to host your own game, Daniel?
Mhm.
That usually happens with people that play iSurvivor. They usually get inspired, like start up this inner creative juices and they start flowing, and you need to just let it out. So, I hope you have fun as a host. It's a great experience. And my only qualm with you hosting on Facebook is if you really want to enjoy it, Daniel. And I know you don't know a lot about Facebook games, but the people who typically play Facebook games are always in the same game and they're all aligned. So if you're looking to host a game to like get this type of dynamic of all these different types of people who are into it and in it to win it, I don't think you're going to be getting it from a pool of Facebook players because just some examples of Facebook players in this season, you have Matt Merrill voted out second. You have Sherry Martinez voted out third. You have Jamie voted out sixth. You have Vardavar voted out fifth. And those are just some examples of how well Facebook people do in iSurvivor. But if you want to host a Facebook leveled game, then you'll have a Facebook leveled cast. But yeah, I just from a host to a host, and if you do like backtrack and want to work on a pro boards, like not saying I'll have all the time in the world, but I have a lot of sites that can help you if you just take a day to read and stuff. It's honestly the new pro boards has it set up to where it's so easy for you to design stuff. So maybe with just a little insight, you'll be able to give it another shot or something.
Just kind of the thought process behind that is I have hosted actually before.
Uh-huh.
Way back when I played.
No, and then the reason why I know the reason why you're hosting, and I totally know that you're not gonna want to host a Facebook cast. I just know that. I know it. So.
Right. Well, and my thought, the reason I chose that at the time is just because like I don't know enough about pro boards, and when I hosted my games a long time ago, it was over AIM, it was over a website, and over Yahoo.
Yeah, I remember that. eSurvivor, I remember that on Yahoo.
Yeah, so I mean, like I'm very new when it comes to like pro boards and Facebook and everything else.
Okay, well now that I've mentioned that, I just wanted to get that off my chest. With that being said, let's talk about this season. Daniel, you will see in the first roundtable discussion on iSurvivor Live interviews that you were my favorite castaway early on in this game. I was a complete Daniel fanboy. I was front row by the fire when you were talking about your Alaska stories, whether you saw me or not. I just liked you because you're different. You're not the typical applicant we get, the 20-something-year-old male. You were old. I don't mean to insult you because I'm literally almost
You're not. No, I get it.
I'm the same age as you. But in the org world and in this cast, you're quote unquote the old guy, the older guy. But yeah, for the fact that you're older in age, you're from a distinct location, you have a different type of personality, and you just brought so many different things to the table at first. I was like, oh my god, I'm such a Daniel fan. You reminded me of, he's on the call right now, but you sort of reminded me of Woods. Back when Woods was playing in India, and I love the Woods in India, so yeah. That being said, Daniel, you kind of admitted it to yourself that you kind of regretted that, like putting all your baskets in the Chikara Saki Alliance, and that's when I kind of lost interest because I felt like your game was very narrow-minded. Like you didn't have leave yourself many, routes to take. You put the address in the GPS, you saw the route, and you took that route. You didn't like, you know, avoid toll roads or anything like that. um, with that being said, I appreciate everything you brought to the season. Was there one thing, one moment, one thing that stands out in your mind as like, oh, this game is awesome. It's the best thing that happened. What's one shining great moment for you?
Oh wow. I'd like to backtrack before I get to that. I just want to kind of touch base on the whole Chikara Saki thing
Yeah.
because I totally 100% agree with you, and I think the reason for my choices is because the last time I played, I'm trying to remember the point at where Real Life Survivor was. I mean, I was playing around the time like season 11 was being aired. That was like one of the last game that I played was around season 11, and I was not used to all of these, the idols, all of the different twists. I mean, we had twists in different games, but it wasn't like to the level that this game had with the auction and everything else. And my strategy had always been kind of find that group of people that I felt like I could trust and make different small side alliances and kind of build a base as it were and kind of cut strings based on where I saw myself getting farther.
You remind me of you're describing the Onion Alliance right now.
Yeah, right. And I totally was not prepared, in my opinion, for like just how fast this game moved and how involved that you had to be, because like my job is so very involved. Being an elementary teacher and being a kindergarten first grade teacher, my job takes a lot of my time, and I wasn't able to be as social and to put forth the effort I needed to kind of talk to some of the other people that I wanted to. And I totally agree that was like putting my eggs in the whole Chikara Saki alliance was one of the major reasons why I didn't maybe do as well as I should have.
I just want to mention, Daniel, you like putting time aside in your life, being a teacher and an adult and having a little bit more responsibilities than the majority of this cast. It did not go unnoticed. I appreciate it tenfold. I hope you don't look back and like regret that, and I hope it's like time well spent, and a month and a half of altering your lifestyle was well worth it. But definitely from a host perspective, you're like my reasoning for casting you is completely like justified in what everything that you just said, like taking time out of your life and this and that. So thank you very much, Daniel.
No problem. I mean, I loved it, and what really made this game so much fun for me was the fact that it was so involved. And I mean, like, the challenges were so well thought out. They related to the actual location of the game.
I tried. I don't know how hiding samurai gear really relates to Japan, but like we could cross our fingers and pretend.
I've played games where like their challenges were not even, like it wasn't even remotely close to, what.
No, and I like that's a reason why you appreciated the series so much, because I definitely go out of my way to like make it a point to keep it genuine to the show as much as possible. Like, this is not Survivor Chronicles. We don't play like at Pixar. We don't play at Hogwarts. We don't play on Star Wars Planet X. We play on like actual locations, and in doing so, I like to throw in some culture, throw in some history, just try to make it feel as real as possible. So the fact that I like go out of my way to make it low based on its location, and you like appreciate that, just I don't know, makes me feel like I'm doing my job right. So thanks.
No, you totally did. The everything about this game is like the type of game I would love to eventually, if I had, it would have to be in the summer if I'm going to make something this involved to be able to do. I don't know how you do it, going to college and having all these challenges ready beforehand and having questions and hosting Skype calls and everything else. I just don't know how you do it. And I mean, with hosting my game, I will try to make it as involved as possible, but I'm just going to say it right now. There's no way I'll ever be able to, get to this point during the school year.
Yeah, I have a good team, and it's all about planning. And I guess it's easier for like myself because all I have to do is go back to old challenges, literally edit them to say Japan to Venezuela, change around some images, maybe change a ruler here, and ta-da! I do that 15 times, and bam, I have a season. So I mean, for me, it's not so much work. It was back in the day, but now that I've done it so many times, I could whip up a season in about 2 weeks. Granted, it probably wouldn't be the best, but I could definitely whip up a game in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about some other things, Mr. Daniel.
Mhm.
One thing that frustrated me so much about you, Mr. Daniel, it's like, you ever heard the saying, you could lead a sheep to water, but you can't make it drink?
Mhm.
That's what I felt like you were in this game sometimes. And like, it's just so funny because you got so offended and upset at people when Robbie was voted out. But literally, if you look at your whole confessional, like as soon as the swap happened, you're like number one ally, the person you confided in and like were willing to throw your trust into was Robbie. And you have Aaron, you have Eric, you have Nicole, all like toying with the idea and pedaling around you, being like, let's break up Chikara. Chikara's gotta go. We're turning on them. Hey Daniel, we're flipping right now. And like, you A, didn't listen, didn't want to hear it, say it was a bad thing.
Well, okay,
What, but also,
myself.
but my main question after saying all that was, why were you so shocked when you yourself knew you were close with Robbie and they didn't tell you and you were mad at them for it? Do you blame them for not telling you, or do you blame yourself for not reading seeing the red flags, the warning signs that hey, all these people in my alliance want to flip, but they're afraid to tell me because of my relationship with Robbie?
The couple things about that, because I was not 100% like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take Robbie to the end. No way, absolutely not. I mean, if you read back in some of my confessionals, I mean, the only reason why I stuck with Robbie at that point is because I really didn't feel like I had very many connections with anybody else. And at the merge, my plan was not to stick with Robbie. My plan was to stick with Eric, Aaron, and Nicole. And what happened was, it's just this whole time bomb of just everybody like, we need to take out these people now. And it's like, I personally did not feel like it was the right time. The reason why is, look what happened to Eric. The very next tribal council. They turned on him and voted him out. I felt like we needed to wait one more round, and I literally said that to, I forget who it was. I said it to a couple different people.
No, you're completely right in saying so. Do you think, had you been aware of this Eric plan, do you think you could have possibly talked some sense into the people who flipped on Robbie to maybe be like, hey, I'm totally down. Let's wait one more round in case the other side, wants to be froggy and turn on us the round after. Do you think if you were aware of the plan, had they made you aware, you would have been on board, but maybe could have saved your alliance from all losing the game? Hi, Daniel?
Are you there? I couldn't hear you. Like, you cut out. You said if you were aware of the plan.
Oh, sorry. If you were aware of like Robbie getting voted out and Nicole and Aaron and if Nicole and Aaron and if Nicole and Aaron made you aware, be like, hey, we're voting out Robbie. If you think you were fully in on the plan, do you think you could have maybe, if not voted with them to oust Robbie, or at least been like, hey, wait around. This is not the perfect time. Let's wait one more round. I'm totally willing to get Robbie out. He has to go. I want to break up Chikara, but we need to wait for our own asses. Do you think if you knew about the plan, you could have saved what happened from happening, which is Eric got voted out, Nicole got voted out, you got voted out.
Yes, I honestly do, because like, I mean, they did say to me, we think that they should be split up, but they never said, hey, you know, they never came to me and been like, look, we love you, but Robbie's got to go. There was never this, like, I didn't really feel like at that point, after they turned on me, I felt like there was no real 100% trust, and I was 100% clear with Aaron. You know, Aaron's not here to confirm this, but I was 100% clear with Aaron, like, Aaron, look, you know, I'm saying this to Chris. No offense, Chris. I loved you guys, but I thought you guys were big, huge threats. I was telling Aaron everything like that Chris and Robbie were telling me, saying, look, we have this Final Four pact with Chris, Robbie, you, and me, but I'm not, you know, I don't trust that at all. You know, I want to stick with you guys. And I felt like he was very just kind of, he never really fully said 100% what was going on. And I did tell him that, yes, I do want to get rid of them, but I don't feel like it is the right time. I literally did say that. So I feel like if they would have said, hey, look, we are going to vote out Robbie, I would have said, okay, you know, fine. I still don't think it's the right idea, the right time, but I will totally do that.
Alrighty.
Can
Thank
I
you.
add a comment?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me just stop this video and start a new one. So we'll be right back.